What's up, guys? I try to keep the cough away. I might be feeling a little better. I've also got a lot of medicine in me. I don't know what happened. Woke up feeling a little rough, but that's life, I guess, right? Uh, um, what's up, Olympian? Thanks for joining. Appreciate the interaction. Let's get my stuff pulled up here. My son just woke up. My wife's feeding him, but she's on her lunch break, so I kind of feel bad. Where's okay? That's what I want there. I'm losing my mind. I was looking at a lot of bets, and like I feel like there's a lot that I like today, but I just feel like the NBA has me like I don't know, ruined. You look at every game and it's like, well, I like this one, but it could be a blowout, or I like this, but it could be a blowout. And that's how it always is, obviously, like last year. I mean, you still don't want to take a minus 15 point spread, prop in that game because like there's a good likelihood that, you have a blowout or whatever. And obviously, like we're seeing blowouts just like in a ridiculous pace, so like that sucks. Caden, about to get into it right now. So for anybody that's in here, what is it? Wednesday? Not a whole lot of action right now. Not gonna have a bunch of people in here immediately. Do me a favor though, like the podcast, or whatever. Subscribe, I guess is mainly subscribe to YouTube here. And then if you're watching on the recorded version, live, whatever, do all the same. But we'll get it kicked off here. Gosh, this cough. We'll start recording for the podcast here. Podcast goes out on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, iHeartRadio, all that stuff, so yeah. Here we go. I think. Try to make this one short and sweet. What's up, and welcome to Lunchtime in the Lab, your number one gambling podcast for quick picks. Now live on YouTube, not on TikTok today. I honestly keep forgetting about TikTok. I really do want to try to get into TikTok a little more. I don't know if you follow me on there. Live Joe Bets on everything. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. Whatever is out there, I try to keep the handle the same, but I've been trying to do a pick of the day. 9 times out of 10, it is going to be a play off the podcast here, but it's just another way to try to spread the love and continue to grow this platform that we're working on and everything. Today's episode brought to you by, change it up a little bit. We'll talk about beer money picks. That's the VIP group that I am in. I have a link in the description of YouTube, link in the descriptions of Spotify, or wherever you're listening. You can check it out. There's a bi-weekly and a monthly on there. And honestly, I think you can do even a 3-month or something like that if you want to get wild. But basically, it's just an extension of the plays here. These are the 3 free plays I give out in a day. I do give out more, but I've got already, there's a DraftKings, 50% boost. I have like a little builder play cooked up for that. So it's just a way to get some additional information for me. And not to mention that there's, a dozen other guys in there. You get plays that are experts on in different sports and everything like that, So nice little plug for the group there. But today is Wednesday, January 24th already. Before we get into today's plays, we'll take a look back and see what we did yesterday. Although yesterday, if you're not, if you don't follow me on social media, that yesterday I was a little MIA, woke up just not feeling the best. I actually took a nap yesterday. Thought I was running a fever for a hot second, and stuff too. But if we go back to the most recent podcast, we went 2-1. Wendell Carter had 19 points and rebounds on a line at 18.5, so we barely got that one. I actually loved Naz Reid the other day, and he's actually in a really good matchup again today. But the guy, he played like no minutes, but also like Cat had like what did he finish, like 62 or 58 or something like that points. You can't handicap somebody, trying to break a record. Or he also had the most like first half points. I think like he broke Kobe's record if I'm not mistaken, or Embiid did. One of the two. Both those guys had a crazy game the other day. Then Domantas Sabonis over 21.5 rebounds and assists. He nearly had that in rebounds alone. So I mean he was killing it. So did I post a builder on Twitter? No. I was just kind of mentioning it. I have one, possibly for the Discord here, just kind of talking about the Discord and the VIP place. But we're getting into it now. Get into the plays here. Trying to make it a little short and sweet. I can already tell talking my voice is a little raspy, a little strained. First play is going to be a LaMelo Ball over 28.5 points. Today he faces the Pistons, who allow the second most points to point guards in the league with an average of 27.56 points per game. Certainly an ideal spot for him against this team. They're also looking to get Cade Cunningham back, so it should be more competitive game. But I want to target Ball without Rozier. So this is going to be possibly the last one where we get line. I mean, this line is like pretty normal to him, but Rozier went to the Heat, and he's just been a ball hog for the most part, and I think he kind of pulls down some production out of LaMelo. But he's killed it without Terry Rozier. Coming off the bench or whatever, but 34, 36, 34, 37, 28, 32, 25, 34, and 30 have been the games this year without Rozier. So he's been over this in 7 out of 9 games without Terry playing with them. So you can see he hits this at a pretty high number. And he's hitting it pretty easily. We need 29 points. He cleared 30 in all of those hits. We've also slowly been seeing his minutes increase. He's been back for 4 games, maybe 5 games at this point. I think he missed one in between. But 2 nights ago, whenever he had played most recently, he had 35 minutes against the Wolves, I think it was. So obviously they have a pretty good defensive team. He didn't score a whole lot of points, to be honest, but he had 35 minutes, and that's where like it's been lacking a little bit with Ball coming back from injury, is that they were kind of like easing him back in. And this is a spot here, I think, where he has a fantastic matchup. And without Rozier, they're going to be a little thinner, and they're still banged up. They have a lot of their talent still hurt. And like I said, the Pistons may be getting Cade Cunningham back. We have a 2.5 point spread, so hopefully both teams can keep this one pretty close, and we don't run into any blowout type situations, which has been, unfortunately, is just what's been kicking my butt. It just seems like. I had a play yesterday, Lowry Markkanen and Edey for Purdue. Edey hit his rebounds no problem. I needed 3 threes from Markkanen, and he played, like 8 minutes in the second half or something like that. Didn't play at all in the fourth quarter because of a blowout. Just blowout. That was a close line, close spread, so it's frustrating. Then on the reverse side, to get off on a tangent here real quick, you had like the Blazers and the Thunder played yesterday. The Thunder had won by like 40, at least like 43 points in both games this year, and then they started out just terrible, against the Blazers. So obviously, I mean, it's not gonna happen every time, but you just look at like these trends or like whatever, and then it got to the point where it's like, oh, okay, like are the Thunders about to lose by double digit, and they ended up coming back, but it is what it is. The NBA has been pretty frustrating with that. That's why, like on some of these straights that these quote unquote official VIP type plays, like they've gone to like half unit plays because NBA has just been goofy. It's not like the NFL where I feel like I can really confidently bet on some of these guys because the NBA, you just don't know what's showing up every day. March 28th is when MLB starts. Shameless plug for that. Moving on to the next play here, though. We're going to go Jarrett Allen over 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I was looking at his rebounds and assists pretty heavily. This is a bet that we've been on, quite a few times in the Discord already. Allen's RA has been great to take, since he's been returned from that injury. But today I think the PRA is going to be the best option, as he's had some of his best scoring games against the Bucks this year. In the 2 games that he's played against the Bucks, he scored 30 and 21 points against them, and he continues to be a rebounding machine. In his last 2 games against the Bucks, he had 48 and 37 PRA, clearing this number extremely easy in both of those. He's had a double-double in most games, whatever, however you want to look at this tonight. 10 points plus 10 rebounds has got us at 20. We just need to pick up 10 more somewhere else. Obviously, he's been scoring 30 and 21. If we get 15, if we can get 15 points out of him, which seems pretty low, a dozen rebounds, and then we pick up just a couple assists, 3 assists. If I'm doing my quick math, I think we'll have us at 30 PRA. It feels like a fantastic line. I debated, and I guess I'll say, to back up real quick, I debated on quite a few plays here, and I'm kind of thinking, what's my pick of the day going to be? Because generally I pick it out of these 3 just to make my life easy, so I'm not trying to do an insane amount of research on the day. I really like Brandon Miller in that first game that I just talked about. I really like Duren because he's got a fantastic. The Hornets are terrible against centers and points and rebounds. So trying to figure out, what I want to do, So today's slate of research was certainly a little more difficult because there's a lot of plays that I thought I liked, and I had to kind of decide or make a decision, without giving you. Like the other day, I give you 4 plays, but that was doesn't happen very often, and I was right because I loved them and I went 4-0 on that day. But anyhow, though, I thought, do I have a graph? Yeah, so his last 10 games with Jarrett Allen here, for points, rebounds, and assists, he's over this in, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's over this in 50%. Not fantastic, not something that makes me want to sprint to bet this. But he in his last 10 games, going from oldest to most recent here, 48, that was against the Bucks, 31, 43, 27, so very narrow miss there. 47 against the Spurs, 28, narrow miss, 27, narrow miss, 37 against the Bucks, 27, narrow miss, 29, narrow miss, right? So he's been right there. I don't know what that, with those extreme outlier type hits where he's at 48, 43, and 47 PRA, he's got to be average well over in the 30s in the last 10 days. He's been playing some great basketball, so we're going to ride him and we're going to let it rip and do Jarrett Allen over, where the heck is my number? 29.5, right? I lost my note. Yep, 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And lastly, last play is going to be Jalen Williams over 18.5 points. This is by far just a trend play. Just kind of looking through, Outliers, the app that I use, and I kind of go through, and you can look and see 10%, or you can look at last 10 and it shows a percentage. And I always try to look at who's at 100% or 90, and okay, no, those are just first quarter assists, or no, I don't care about that. You get to his points in the last 10, he's over this in 9 out of his last 10, and it's not like he's over it just by a little. We got a line at 18.5. We're talking 20, 21, 19, 21, 25, 25, 27, 20, 19. So when he goes over, he's, there are sometimes it's pretty close, sometimes where it's pretty well over. The one miss he had against the Magic, he had 16 points. So he's been playing some pretty good ball. If you look at his away games, I just hit my hat on my mic. You might have heard that. He's over this in 9 of his last 10 as well, with an 8-game streak. He has hit this line in 8 straight games away. 20, 27, 25, 25, 19, 21, 20, and 21. I know those numbers are probably just a lot all thrown at you, but I tell you what, I hit my mic again. That's all over 19 or more points. We have a decent matchup. The Spurs allow the 10th most points to power forwards in the league. He also hit the game-winning shot last night. So maybe he's going to be right in that feel-good status going into the next game here. They've also got a pretty big total on the board here, so we're going to see a bit of a pace-up spot. The Spurs do play a little faster. OKC's playing on a back-to-back. So I'm hoping that I'm not saying that I think OKC is going to lose, but OKC's playing on a back-to-back. They may have some tired legs. They also trailed the Blazers almost the entire part of the game. I talked about it just recently. Like they did not play very well. They were playing from behind. There's a lot of things that didn't make sense in that game, and I'm thinking this game's going to be a bit closer because they had to really get up and play from behind to catch up. You know what I'm saying? To get back and get this win against the Blazers. I think they're going to have some tired legs. I think hopefully it keeps it a closer game, and it's going to require him then to play a little harder, and to get a not harder. I hear my son crying, and like the wrong words come to my mind. Not harder. Play more minutes, I guess I should say. Right? Play deeper is maybe the word I'm thinking of. To play deeper into the game. So I talk about it before. Like there's multiple ways to bet. You bet off your gut. You bet off a streak. You bet off like history, or matchups. I don't know how many that's for. 3 or 4 ways. But this is certainly this guy's right in the hot hand. And I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I read somewhere that like on a back-to-back, he's had like 5 back-to-back games, and like he's go over this number in like every game. I believe off a back-to-back. I don't know if that's the case. Don't quote me on that one. But hey, like that's certainly a good thing going for us, So to recap then on January 24th of Lunchtime in the Lab, I will say too, I posted on Twitter. I mean, we're up on the Discord. I'm sorry, gosh, Discord. We're up for the podcast 6, almost 7 units for the entirety of the podcast. It's been a while since I recapped, there for you, but I mean, we're constantly in the green. We don't go red for too often. We're doing these straight bets. I mean, we're going to be consistently winning. So if you've been following me from the start, I mean, we're up and doing pretty well here. But to recap, then we're at LaMelo Ball over 28.5 points. The next play is going to be Jarrett Allen over 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists combined. And then lastly, we're going to go with Jalen Williams over 18.5 points. As always, I am your host. Lunchtime in the Lab is brought to you every single day. Thanks for listening. Be sure to follow me on all social medias at LiveJoeBets. And I will be back tomorrow, hopefully with a solid recap. As we're getting closer to some NFL, maybe even start trying to sprinkle in some NFL type plays for you as we are narrowing down to our second to last weekend of the NFL, which is sad to say, but soon we're going to be, the UFL is actually coming around soon, which is going to be pretty cool. MLB is going to be back on March 28th, so we're getting there. But I'm gonna go in and wrap it up here on the audio version side of things. As always, if you're making it this far into the audio side, if you're interested, come check me out on YouTube. Same content, of course, outside of there's a live chat that I can interact beforehand, and then afterwards that you guys missing on the recorded version here. But certainly getting the same content all the same. So I'm gonna close it out here. Appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys back tomorrow. And I'm gonna see what's going on YouTube here, and I'll catch you guys back tomorrow. That ending sucked. This guy gives out the winners on the regular, best builder out there. I'll tell you what though, Maggie's been doing pretty good in the Discord. If you're not if you're not around, if you're not in the Beer Money VIP, he's pretty solid. He I think he's been better than me recently. If you guys are still in here, do me a favor, subscribe if you haven't, please. Like the video if you haven't, please. Just trying to, it was nice to get a break yesterday, and it's a bummer that it came with me being sick, but it's certainly a grind doing this every day. And my wife's on a lunch break feeding my son because he woke up at the wrong time after I already said it was going, so continue to support me and everything like that. I appreciate it. As this is, it's fun. This is fun though. I like it. I certainly like it when I, have like 50 people watching me or whatever. It's a thrill, but I'm going to get out of here then. DM me, Live Joe Bets, if you guys have any questions or anything like that. And I'll be back, like I said, in the podcast. I'll be back tomorrow, as always. I thought I had something else, but that's it. I'll see you guys.